Who's trespassing on my territory? A silence, as the party isn't sure what to say. They were so certain that they successfully snuck into the lair of the beholder, and the shock of this beast knowing they're here takes them fully aback. But Aldor doesn't hesitate. He casts chain lightning on the beholder and manages to catch it off guard, a massive blow that gives the party great advantage. Neria fires an arrow designed to emit a large flash of light and sand and successfully impedes two or three of its menacing eyes from functioning. However, this doesn't faze the beholder enough, as he uses his ray of paralyzing and it very nearly hits Neria, but continues on its path into Lightning Foot. He's stopped in his tracks and seems unable to escape the magical grasp. The Beholder. Famous throughout the realms, just a single glance gives anyone enough context to understand how it's not of this plane, existing almost entirely of hatred and greed. They think themselves supreme beings, and everything else is lesser. They treat them as playthings, toying and destroying at will. The beholder's sphere-shaped body is always levitating. At the center is a large, menacing eye, above a wide, toothy mouth. Around its head are smaller eye stalks that grant the beast a full range of vision. While it sleeps, its main eye is shut, but the others are alert and aware. Beholders are unceasingly paranoid, and they believe that the lesser beings that inhabit this plane are always out to get them. As they would see it, their never-ending genius and magical ability causes other creatures to resent and hate them, leading to plots to destroy the beholder. They even hate all other creatures so much that other beholders are seen as lesser as well, for their form is perfect and any other is not. Specifically, they consider it to be an unclean deviation in their race. The conflicts between beholders are far too inevitable, because they all take on such different forms within themselves. Some are scaly and hard, while others are soft and brightly colored. There's as many differences from monster to monster as there are reasons they hate one another. Some beholders express their hatred for existence with controlling the masses, rather than avoiding them. These eye tyrants make their homes beneath cities and kingdoms, and implore the help of agents to rule the surrounding areas. However, the ones that do isolate carve out their lairs deep in frigid hills, beneath abandoned ruins, or really any deep cavern. They use a disintegration ray from their eye stalk to create the lairs they dwell in. They prefer to make the chambers where they dwell vertically spaced so that they can move around freely, but intruders would find it difficult to sneak in or out. When trespassers do make their way in, the beholder takes advantage of their tall chambers and flies high above the enemy, ravaging them with rays and magic. The lairs the beholders make reflect both their alien creators and the hubris the monsters possess. They fill their chambers with trophies from battles won and the petrified bodies of adventurers who have fallen prey to their deadly eye beams. They also hoard magic items they've accumulated from these battles, and value all of these treasures as much as they do themselves. On a similar note, when one encounters a beholder in their lair, they have a challenge rating higher than normal, a 14, valuing them at 11,500 experience when slain. When fighting within the beholder's lair, they can invoke the ambient magic that dwells in its chamber to use lair actions. A lair action has its own unique initiative of an unnatural 20, and it loses ties to other creatures. During this period, the beholder can cause one of these lair actions to happen. A 50-foot square of ground within 120 feet of the beholder will be considered slimy and difficult terrain. This will last until the next turn for lair actions. Another lair action is that walls within 120 feet of the monster sprout out appendages that grasp at what the beholder wills until the next lair action turn. Every creature that the beholder wants that's within 10 feet of an affected wall must make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or be grappled. They can escape the grapple with the DC 15 escape save. The last lair action that could be causes an eye to open on a surface within 60 feet of the beholder. This eye shoots a random eye ray at a target of the beholder's choosing. Lair actions can't be used twice in a row, and they can't be used again until all other actions have been used. The presence of the beholder and its lair twist and corrupt the land around, causing these potential effects. All creatures within 1 mile of the beholder will sometimes feel as if they're being watched. Also within 1 mile of the beholder, while it sleeps, strange things might happen to reality, such as slime appearing on statues, trinkets appearing where none were before, or the markings inside of cave walls shifting. Once the beholder is slain, these effects dissipate after 1d10 days. Now, for the stat block. The beholder is a large aberration, lawful evil. They have 18 AC, natural armor, 19 d10 plus 76 or 180 average hit points, and 0 walking speed, but also 20 flying speed since they always hover. They have 10 strength, no bonus, 14 dexterity, a +2 bonus, 18 constitution, a +5 bonus, 17 intelligence, a +3 bonus, 15 wisdom, a +2 bonus, and 17 charisma, a +3 bonus. They possess a +8 intelligence saving throw bonus, a +7 wisdom saving throw bonus, and a +8 charisma saving throw bonus. They have a +12 bonus to perception and are immune to the prone condition. They have dark vision within 120 feet and a passive perception of 22. They speak the deep speech and undercommon languages and have a challenge rating of 13, valuing them at 10,000 experience each. The large eye of the beholder creates an anti-magic field in a cone 150 feet long. This field acts as if the anti-magic spell is being used. At the start of each of the monster's turns, it can choose which direction the cone is facing, and if it's active. The cone also affects the eye stalks the beholder has, potentially preventing them from casting. On to the actions. The beholder has a bite action, a melee weapon attack with a +5 to hit and a 5-foot reach, one target. On hit, the bite deals 4d6 or 14 average piercing damage. Certainly, the most menacing aspect of the beholder is their terrifying eye rays. The way this attack functions is that 3 random eye rays are chosen based on the roll of a d10. Reroll duplicates. You can choose 1 to 3 targets to attack within 120 feet of the beholder. These eye rays are Charm Ray. The targeted creature must pass a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw or be under the charm of the beholder for 1 hour or until harmed. Paralyzing Ray. The target must pass a DC 16 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. At the end of each of the target's turns, they can attempt to repeat the saving throw. Fear Ray. The target must pass a DC 16 Wisdom save or be frightened for 1 minute. Again, they can attempt the save at the end of each of their turns. Slowing Ray. This time it's a DC 16 Dexterity saving throw, and on a failed save, the target's speed is halved for 1 minute. On top of this, the victim can't take reactions, and they must choose between an action and a bonus action. As before, the target can attempt the saves at the end of their turn. Enervation Ray, a DC 16 Constitution save. On a failed save, the target takes 8d8 or 36 average necrotic damage, or half as much on a successful save. Telekinetic Ray, a DC 16 Strength save, or else the target is moved up to 30 feet in any direction the beholder wishes. Additionally, the target is restrained until they are incapacitated or the beholder's next turn. The beholder can also use this ray on objects under 300 pounds and manipulate small items with finesse, like opening a door or using a simple tool. Sleep Ray. If the target fails the DC 16 Wisdom saving throw, they fall unconscious for 1 minute or until they take damage or an outside source takes an action to wake them. Constructs and undead are unaffected by this ray. Petrification Ray, a DC 16 Dexterity save. On a fail, the target begins to turn to stone. They then make the save again at the end of their turn, and completely turn to stone on another failure, breaking free on a success. If turned to stone, they can only be healed by the Greater Restoration spell or stronger magic. Disintegration Ray. Assuming the target is a creature, they'll make a DC 16 Dexterity save, or suffer 10d8 or 45 average force damage. If this attack causes the target to have 0 hit points, they are turned to dust. If the target is a non-living object that is large or smaller, it is turned to dust. If it's huge or larger, a 10-foot cube is disintegrated. Death Ray, a DC 16 Dexterity save. On a failure, the target is dealt 10d10 or 55 average necrotic damage. The target is immediately killed if reduced to 0 hit points. The beholder can take 3 legendary actions. These are actions that can be used after another creature's turn, and the legendary actions they've used are regained at the start of their turn. They have 1 legendary action to choose from, and that's that they use 1 random eye ray. Aldor casts Wall of Force above the beholder, forcing it closer to the ground. This gives Tarkin the chance to slash the eye stalks of the beholder with his mace as Lightning Foot takes a swing at the beholder's eye. The monster sees this coming, however, and uses his telekinetic ray to launch Lightning Foot towards the wall, knocking him out. Neria sees him get knocked out, causing her to panic. "Footy!" she yells, as she takes a poisoned dagger and throws it toward the beholder, missing greatly. "Calm yourself, Dark Elf. The fight's not over yet." Aldor attempts a fireball near the beholder and nails it right on the body, weakening it enough for Tarkin to deal the finishing blow, crushing its eye. Lightning Foot groans, slowly waking up and pushing himself up from the ground. he assesses his surroundings and scowls at Tarkin.
Oh, sure. Take my idea.